This video looks at adding mixed numbers. Now, adding mixed numbers is very similar to adding just regular fractions or adding wholes, but you're doing both of them because a mixed number is a whole and a fraction. The one place where kids sometimes get messed up is when you add the fraction pieces and you end up with an improper fraction, which is more than one, right? You've got to change it into a mixed number and carry the whole part of that number. So that can be a little bit confusing, but let's take a look at it. If I've got 3.5 plus 2 1/4, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up, just like a regular addition problem. I'm going to line up my whole numbers, and I'm going to line up my fractions. So I've got a half plus a fourth. So that's the first step. We're going to add the fraction bit first and put it directly underneath. Well, you know, with adding fractions, I have to have the same denominator. So if you're not sure how to do this, go back to the adding and subtracting fractions video and review that. But basically, I need to change my fractions to the same number. So I'm going to change my 2 into a 4. I do that by multiplying it by 2. So then I've got to multiply the top by 2. So then I've got 2/4 plus 1/4, 3/4. Remember, you just add the numerators, denominators stay the same. I got nothing to carry because it's a proper fraction. And then I can just add my wholes. 3 plus 2 is 5. So that's the simplest form that this could take, right? Unless the denominators were already the same for me, I guess that would be simpler. But if I have to change denominators, you know, this is the simplest it would be. So let's take a look at another example. This one's going to be slightly different. So first, again, I'm going to line it all up. Okay. 2/3 plus 6/9. Now, they're not the same denominator, so I'm going to need to change them. Thankfully, I can only have to change the one. I don't have to change both of them, because 3 can be changed into 9, and now they're both 9s. But whatever I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top. So 3 times 3 made the 9. So 2 times 3 makes the 6. Now 6/9 plus 6/9 is 12/9. Problem is that this is now an improper fraction, right? So with an improper fraction, you can't leave that in the fraction area. You have to have a proper fraction in the fraction area. You can't have, like, for instance, a mixed number that is 2 3/2, because 3/2 makes another whole, so that would be 3.5, right? So you've got to change it back. You've got to change it into its mixed number form and then carry the whole. So I've got to change it into a mixed number. How many 9s go into 12? Well, 1. And what's left over? 3. 3 what? 3/9. Okay? I won't simplify that quite yet, as I just want to show what's going on. So 12/9 is the same as 1 3/9. Okay? So I can get rid of this 12/9 because I've changed it into 1 3/9, right? But I can't put 1 3/9 in the fraction piece, so I can leave my 3/9 there, but I've got to take my 1, and I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. I'm going to move it up here into this column to add it in with my wholes, right? Just like you would with regular numbers, where you get more than a single digit and then you move it over to add. You do that here. So now I've got not just 3 plus 2, right, what I had originally, 3 plus 2, which would have been 5, but I've got this extra 1 to add in. So now I have 6 total. So my answer will be 6 3/9. At this point, I can see that 3/9 can be simplified. 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. Again, if you're not sure on this whole simplifying thing, go and take a look at the video on simplifying. So in this case, I had to carry across because I ended up with an improper fraction in my fractions. So let's take a look at one more. I don't think we need to take a look at more than just this one. This is pretty much the same for each of the ones we do. This time, of course, the denominators are not the same, and I can't change one into the other. so I'm going to have to change them both. 8 and 5, the least common multiple of 8 and 5 is 40. I can't get any better than that. So I'm going to change them both into 40. How did I change 8 into 40? Well, 8 times 5. So let's times the top by 5. Okay, how did I change a 5 into a 40? Well, 5 times 8. So let's times the top by 8. 4 times 8 is 32. So now I've got equivalent fractions. So I can add them now because they have the same denominator. 15 plus 32. 32, 42, plus another 5, 47. 47 40ths. Okay, problem, because I've got an improper fraction again. So 47 40ths, how many 40s go into 47? I can only get 1 40 out of 47, with 7 left over. So now I've got to put them in the right places. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase the 47 40ths because I've changed it into this mixed number 1 and 7 40ths. I'm going to select this 1, shrink it down a little bit, and I'm going to move it into the 1's column to be added. And the 7 40ths, that's going to go into my fraction column. So now I've got 1 plus 4 plus 10, which is 15. And 7 40ths cannot be simplified. So 15 and 7 40ths is the answer to that. Okay, so again, you have to line them up properly, change the fraction pieces into the same denominator, add them. If they're an improper fraction, change it into a mixed number and carry the whole numbers part. Stick your fractions back in there and add the wholes. And that's how you add mixed numbers.